Hello folks and welcome to the first episode of Outback Bites. Jameen, what are we going to be making today?
So Matthew, the thing that we're making today is called our Bayou Blaze steak sandwich.
Awesome. So what am I doing first?
So first things first, you are going to take out the meat and we're going to rub our beautiful Bayou Blaze on the steak. And while he's doing that, I'm going to see what I can do when it comes to our sauces.
Awesome. So how many steaks am I taking out? Like quite a bit or?
Say about two.
Two. These two fine?
Yep, those two are fine. I will have the small one. You can have the...
Alrighty. So we do live in the outback for those wondering, and it is a war on flies at the moment. Fires can only do so much, it would seem. And these are going to be cooked on the campfire, because it does add that extra bit of juiciness to it, just to keep them good. So I'm gonna really douse them in the stuff. These steaks have been resting outside for a little bit, so they are at room temperature.
If you guys want the recipe for the rub, it's just in the description below.
Yeah, in the description below.
And you guys can change it however you want. I didn't want it to be too spicy, especially when you live out here. You don't want to make it too spicy. So while Matthew is doing that, I'm just preparing our sauce. It's just Kewpie mayo with a bit of smoky barbecue, and you just mix them together. And I'll keep them in the fridge while they mix well together.
Awesome. So these are done. What can I do now?
So after those are done, you can go straight to cooking them on the fire. And I can start cutting the onions unless you'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'll do the onions for you. Ooh, this one decided to try and come back to life. So am I doing rings? What am I doing?
I would say just the normal way that you'd cut the onion. So cut it in half, please. And just make some slivers of it.
Some slices. Okay, so I'll try and do like half rings. Sound good?
That sounds really good.
Cool. It's just gonna go there. Alrighty, so how are we gonna be doing these rings? Are we doing them on the fire, or are we gonna do them in the pan?
So preferably I do them on the fire just to give them a smoky taste. But for those people who prefer to have it the easy way, you guys can just use the pan, to be very honest with you. But when you cook them, we're going to put either oil or butter, and then we're going to sprinkle it with a little bit of our rub, just to add a bit of flavor to it, not too much though.
Alrighty, onions are done, so I'll just leave these on a plate for now, and I will start sorting out buttering the bread. So we've got a clamp cooker that we're going to be toasting these on the fire with as well. So how many should we do? 4?
I'd say 4.
Cool.
4 sounds good.
If you wouldn't mind buttering these, I'll get started on our steaks. So we got our 2 steaks ready to go. 1, 2, and we're just going to leave those to cook for a bit. Then they're going to rest whilst we sort out the bread to toast our sandwiches, and we caramelize our onions. We don't toast our onions.
Alrighty, so to cook our onions, I've already put a small amount of butter together with rice bran oil in it. And so we used a small onion, and we're going to make sure that this is actually on first. It's not too hot, but that's okay. We're going to put our onions in there now, so it can start soaking up. Thank you. It's going to heat up quite quickly, and I can already hear it sizzling. I already have someone over here checking if I'm doing the right thing.
Alrighty, steaks off. Okay, these bad boys are looking good. So I'm going to leave these to rest for the time being while we prepare the rest of this stuff. So while you're doing that, I'll get the grid ready to make our toasties.
Now when it comes to the rub, try not to put too much, otherwise when you bite into the onions it might feel a bit gritty. especially if you're just using one onion. Then we're going to put a little bit of the barbecue sauce.
Okay. What does the barbecue sauce do? Are you caramelizing it in there or?
Yep, no, that's right. So the barbecue sauce just adds that extra smoky flavor into the onions. Oh, can you smell that?
That smells good.
And it really does complement the Bayou Blaze Rub that we have.
Alrighty. So those are ready. So let's drop those on this plate over here. Ready for next round. I've got to say, we're usually cast iron people. This is our first steel pan. And it is pretty impressive for non-stick wise.
That's right, it makes it easier to clean.
Much easier. Alrighty, so we're going to do our eggs first. It's weird, you turn the gas cooker on and all the flies went away.
They hate the heat, don't they?
Ah. Alright, so this steak is looking good. The clamp brie is busy sitting on the gas, on the fire right now, busy roasting itself away. Now, you don't want long strips. You sort of want pieces about an inch long, just to make sure that they're not going to be hard to eat, because sometimes you take a bite and then what happens is as you sort of bite into it, you wind up pulling half your sandwich out with it, which just becomes a frustrating experience to eat. So I'm going to need the other welding glove. Grab this, chuck this bad boy over here, ready for assembly.
I don't know if you guys can see, but the bottom is quite crispy because of that high heat. But look at our yolk. Still nice and runny. And I did put a tiny bit of the rub on top, as you can see. And I used chippy salt, just to add that extra flavor on top. So this one is ready. Where would you like this one?
Chuck them straight on.
Okay. So which one's the top, which one's the bottom?
They're both top. They're all bottoms.
Okay. So another tip, you guys, at the bottom of your sandwich, we do recommend putting cheese on top, just to add a bit of an extra layer. So the cheese is in.
Chucking cheese along. Cheese first. I'm really going to go ham with the cheese here.
Oh, more cheese.
More good, more better.
More better.
Okie dokie. We're using the pizza cheese, aren't we? I think like a bit of stringiness. Alrighty, there we go. So, cheese on.
Cheese on.
What next?
And then we're gonna put the steak on top.
Steak, alrighty. So go wild with the steak.
And then we're gonna put the egg on top. And I'm going to get the sauce. Oh, there it is.
Alrighty.
We're gonna put the sauce on top of the egg, just to sort of keep the upper part of the bread, or the top of the bread, in place.
And we're going to clamp it down really nicely. Alrighty.
I'm gonna put this one.
Cool. Chuck the egg on.
I'm
Alrighty.
cooking one at a time.
Cool. Alrighty, so we'll show you once a close-up of these right before they go on, because they are looking too good to be true. While Jameen fries us up a few more eggs. And we also need to put our caramelized onions on, so give us a sec.
Got our eggs, so we're gonna start assembling it. Take one of these eggs, put them on one. We're gonna make sure that at least one of the sandwiches do not have eggs, so you guys can see what it's like. There you go. Fantastic. Now we're gonna put some onions on top. Oh, it's a bit much on that one. There's that. That. And more onions for this one. Alrighty, they're looking really pretty. Now we can start putting our sauces on top. Just a little bit, because they are going to spread when Matthew squishes them with the grill or the brie. there you are. That looks pretty darn good.
Alrighty, we got our burger ready to go. Fire's just running on coals. We don't want high heat for this, otherwise you're going to burn the bread. You just want to toast it and make sure you got it just a bit of brown on the other side. So whack these bad boys on and we should be ready to go very soon. Alrighty folks, moment of truth. They've been toasting up nicely and whew, as always,
Oh, they're looking really good.
one's got to be toastier. It's just a rule. Let's put that back on to clean itself. So these bad boys shouldn't have stuck. So we will grab them and load them straight up. Oh, that egg is still a bit runny, which looks gorgeous. Let's crack one of them open. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is the sound that you want to hear. And that is what we got.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Even Louie's come to have a bite. Alrighty, so let's have a bite. I think this one will be more of your flavour.
Fantastic.
Mine's more of the medium rare. So, cheers.
Cheers. Just having that cheese at the bottom. Oh, you never would have thought that the order of ingredients you put in your sandwich is going to make a difference, but it does.
Especially with that creamy sauce on top of it with the mayonnaise. And the onions cook with the barbecue sauce. You can tell the difference. That is brilliant. Alrighty folks, we're going to put our fly net up and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the outback.
See you then.